Whitney Houston's death in 2012 shocked the world. But more than a decade later, questions still linger. Questions that have only grown louder in the wake of disturbing allegations against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. Now, amid rumors of hidden industry networks and sinister power plays, Diddy's name has once again surfaced in connection to Whitney's death. Many are asking, was Bobby Brown right all along? This article dives into the growing conspiracy theories surrounding Diddy, Clive Davis, and Whitney Houston, and why some believe that what happened to Whitney was far more than just a tragic accident. Whitney's final hours and Clive's pre-Grammy party. Whitney Houston was found dead on February 11, 2012, submerged in a bathtub in her Beverly Hilton hotel suite, just hours before Clive Davis's legendary pre-Grammy party, which continued downstairs despite her death. People were stunned not just by Whitney's death, but by how Clive, the man who discovered and mentored her, kept the party going as her body remained upstairs. It was a jarring contrast that disturbed fans and insiders alike. Many began to question the decision and what it said about the priorities of those in power. Why didn't Clive cancel the event? Why did so many industry elites, including Diddy, still attend, mingling and celebrating while Whitney's lifeless body remained just a few floors away? The Diddy connection, a growing cloud of suspicion. In the years since Whitney's death, Diddy's name has increasingly come up in online discussions about high-profile celebrity deaths, with fans and conspiracy theorists pointing out curious patterns. People have gone back and watched Diddy's interviews, especially one with Ellen DeGeneres shortly after Whitney's passing, where he oddly described how he got into her wedding without actually knowing her, calling it the hottest thing in town. His tone, some say, felt like he was trying to rewrite their connection in the aftermath of her death. Was it genuine grief or image control? Despite Whitney reportedly distrusting Diddy and avoiding what she called Hollywood games, he has been publicly vocal about her since her death, leading some to wonder, why? Bobby Brown's chilling claims. Bobby Brown, Whitney's ex-husband, has never been shy about his suspicions. He has repeatedly stated that he does not believe Whitney died by accident. And more chillingly, he believes that their daughter, Bobby Christina, was also a victim of foul play. In an emotional interview, Bobby said, "Bobby Christina did not die from the bathtub incident. She was starved to death." He has even implicated Nick Gordon, Bobby's ex-boyfriend, in both deaths. But in the same breath, he's hinted that things go even deeper. Many now wonder, was Bobby trying to tell the world something more? Something he couldn't say outright? The mysterious details of Whitney's death. Let's examine what we know. The coroner's report stated that Whitney died by accidental drowning, with cocaine, Xanax, marijuana, and other substances found in her system. But here's the problem. The report also noted that there wasn't enough water in her lungs to conclusively prove drowning. This has led many to speculate that Whitney may have been placed in the bathtub after she died, or lost consciousness before ever touching the water. The heart attack theory? Also shaky. The coroner found only mild heart disease and said her arteries were not severely blocked. In short, the official explanation doesn't hold up under scrutiny. So what really happened? Capricorn Clark's testimony and Diddy's wild night fast-forward to recent court documents and bombshell testimonies in Diddy's ongoing legal troubles. His former assistant, Capricorn Clark, mentioned Whitney Houston's name during her testimony, drawing comparisons between Cassie and icons like Whitney and Mariah Carey. Diddy's lawyer also brought up Whitney's death while discussing a night in 2012 when Diddy allegedly overdosed on opioids. Cassie recalled that they had been partying and freaking off at the Playboy Mansion when it happened. What's eerie is that this overdose reportedly happened the same night Whitney died. Coincidence? Maybe. But some believe it could be much more sinister. Clive Davis, Diddy's alleged master in the shadows. One theory being pushed across social media is that Clive Davis, referred to by some as CD, is the puppet master behind the scenes. Clive is a towering figure in the music industry who's built and broken superstars. He was the man behind Whitney and the one who gave Diddy his shot. But Clive has also spoken openly about his bisexuality and relationships with men. In his memoir, The Soundtrack of My Life, he wrote about multiple monogamous relationships with men over the course of 2 decades, even as he continued to shape the careers of some of the biggest names in music. It's long been rumored that the bond between Clive and Diddy went beyond business. Some speculate that Diddy paid a steep price for Clive's mentorship, not just financially but personally. And some allege that Clive used Diddy as an enforcer in the industry, someone who could handle problems behind the scenes. If Whitney was viewed as a liability, perhaps due to what she knew or what she threatened to expose, could Diddy have been the one ordered to clean it up? Was Whitney a threat to the system? Before her death, Whitney had become increasingly withdrawn from the industry machine. Insiders say she was pulling away from the games and people she saw as manipulative or dangerous. Some believe she was preparing to speak out. About what? No one knows. But there's a theory that's been quietly whispered for years, that Whitney had knowledge of how the industry really worked. She had lived through the rise and fall of numerous artists, seen the power plays, and understood who really pulled the strings. If she were planning to tell her story, on her terms, some believe she would have posed a real threat to the power structure. And if Clive Davis and Diddy were key players in that structure, well, you can see where the speculation leads. The big picture: Diddy's pattern of proximity to tragedy. When you look at the larger pattern, the theory gains momentum. Diddy has had ties to several artists who died under tragic or mysterious circumstances: Notorious B.I.G., Kim Porter, and now, allegedly, Whitney Houston. His former partners and associates have described troubling behavior: drugs, control, coercion, and worse. Now, with mounting lawsuits and criminal investigations underway, Diddy's empire is beginning to crack. And in those cracks, people are seeing pieces of the puzzle that may connect back to Whitney. Bobby Brown's warnings and the road ahead. Was Bobby Brown trying to warn the world all along? Many dismissed his claims as the ramblings of a broken man. But maybe we should have listened more closely. In interviews and books, Bobby has hinted at an invisible system of control, of threats, power, and cover-ups. If Whitney was taken out not by accident, but by design, Bobby might be the only one brave or broken enough to keep saying it. And maybe now, as the walls close in on Diddy, more truths will come to light. Final thoughts. Coincidence or conspiracy? There's no smoking gun. No one has come forward with irrefutable proof that Diddy or Clive Davis had anything to do with Whitney Houston's death. But the whispers are growing louder, the testimonies are piling up, and the stories, when lined up side by side, start to look less like gossip and more like a pattern. Was Whitney Houston silenced? And was Diddy part of the machinery that made it happen? As always, the industry protects its own until it doesn't. And if what's hidden in the shadows finally comes to light, the truth about Whitney's death might be even more devastating than we imagined.